Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to Pandas playlist. So guys, let me just recall what we have done till now. Let me revise it all and then we'll start with a new function of Pandas that is called as describe. So this is a very important function. Basically we'll be using this in our future playlist of machine learning 2. It's a statistical function which is present. So we'll discuss about that today and many more to go. So now what I've discussed, let us revise all those. So we have discussed how to read a CSV file, how to read a TSV, how to read HTML, how to read JSON files. We have seen about head, tail, what do these functions do in data frame. We know what is data frame, we know what is a series kind of data type. We know what is date time function in pandas. Okay, then we know few parameters which we can pass in our functions, for example skip rows, and how to change your own column name, how to make your column name to your convert it to your data, or how to convert your first row into a column, and how to get data type of each and every column by using d type. So we have seen many more things, and how to also export our data into a particular file format, for example to CSV, to HTML. So we can also export our data into that. So also we have seen about numpy, not exactly numpy we have seen, but we have seen about a function in numpy that is called as arange. What does this function arange does? We have seen about this, how to give your own index. Then moving on, okay, we have seen about JSON. We have seen how to read our HTML file. We have done all this. We know about d types function. Okay, then we have seen dt dot. Yeah, these are all things we have seen. We have looked a very high level on binary data format, and then we have seen something called as API, like a very high level definition, I'll say, not deep, but I guess now you guys have a basic idea what is an API. If somebody asks what is an API, I'm just hoping that you guys can answer that, a very general idea of what API is. So starting with today's lecture, what I've done is I need to describe about describe. Describe function. So I've imported my pandas as PD. The like we do it every tutorial. Then I have one ex1.csv file which I'm reading, and then I'm storing into A. So A becomes my data frame. So this is the data of my A. It consists of columns, 5 columns, A, B, C, D, and message. 0, 1, 2 is nothing but my indexes or records, and all these are my data: 1, 2, 3, 4 hello, 5, 6, 7, 8 world, 9, 10, 11, 12 foo. Now guys, moving on, let's give 1 to 2 minutes revision. We know what a dot head does. It will give us, by default, if no parameter pass, it will give us top 5 rows. Let's say I'm passing one parameter 2, it will give me top 2 rows. Yeah, similarly tail, by default it will give me bottom 5. If nothing, if passed a value, then it will, for suppose I'm giving 1, so it will pass me the last value. We know what a dot d types is. It will give me all the data types of my column present in A is nothing but my data frame, which is storing my CSV values. So we have seen about this. Now moving on, this is something new, please focus. If sorry, not if, a dot d types equal to 2 equal to object. What does this mean? It is basically comparing if a dot d types, if the data type is equal to object, and I'm just executing by writing this. What it will do, it will do a check on all the data types of a data frame. If it is equal to object, then it will return me true, and if not, it will return me false. Like in the case of abcde, abcd, it is all integer kind of data type. You can see over here it is all int 64 abcd. So it is throwing false because it is not equal to object, and the last message column is equal to object, so it is throwing value called as true, right? Boolean, we know that. Now what I'm trying to do, please focus, I'm trying to pass this thing into a dot d types. What this will do, a dot d types in bracket, I mentioned this whole line, a dot d types equal to object. What it will do, it will only give me the column where the data type is object. Only that column it will give me. For example, here I mentioned a dot d types equal to object. What it will give, it will only give me message. When I write this a dot d types, then what it will give, only the object kind of data type and their column. Suppose now let's say instead of object, what I'm trying to do over here is, let me execute this, guys. So over here, instead of object, what I'm passing is int 64. So we know what are the columns that is carrying int 64 kind of data type, a b c d. I'm executing this. So for abcd it is giving me true value, and for message it is giving me false because it is an object data type, and we are passing int 64 over here. And the same thing, if we execute it over here int 64, it will only give me the data type, sorry, column. And do note one thing, it is making my column as index. abcd is nothing but my index over here. So it is only giving me data type which is int 64, and it is passing the column name as my index. So this is the function of this. Now what I'm trying to do, these whole thing I'm trying to store into b, but not only these whole thing, dot index, we know about this function dot index. It will give me only the index values. Currently what I'm trying to say is abcd is nothing but my index. We have seen this line, the in9 cell, it is giving abcd, the one that is having data type as int64, like abcd column, it is storing it into index. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm getting that index into a new variable called as b. Now what will b contain? abcd, right? Now what I'm trying to do, a of b. Let me execute, don't get confused. Yeah, okay. Now okay, sorry, I have to change this here also. I'm still passing object. If we give int64, it will give me only the values or datas where my int64 kind of data type is present. Why? Let us revise again. Now what I'm trying to do is, a is my data frame which is consisting of 4 integer and 1 object. I'm making this equal to int64, so only 4 column it will return where the data type is int64. And by using this line, what I'm trying to do is, I'm making my columns as index. And what I'm trying to do is, I am storing all the index. In short, I'm storing all my column into b. And then what I'm trying to do, a in bracket of b, we know what this function does. A bracket your column name, it will give you the column name and its data. Similarly, b is nothing but my column names, right? B is nothing but storing dot index, index is nothing but my abcd. So a of abcd, what it will give, abcd column and its data, right? So this we have seen. We'll use this later also, don't worry if you are not able to understand, but just try to understand this. Just you know, try it in your own notebook, Jupyter notebook. It will be easier for you to understand. Now we know what is a dot index. If I execute this, it will give me all the indexes. Next, okay, a dot describe, we'll see about this. Okay, so we know about data frame. I guess we'll delete this. We know about series, these two data types which we have. Now let me again print what is my a. So a is this data type. What I'm trying to do now, suppose I need to fetch only column a. What we have seen all this, a, and then we'll pass inside square bracket. As I said, this is just a format, and I'll write my column name as a. It will only give me the data of a column. If I need a and b column as well, then we need to pass it inside a list. So it will be a double bracket, a comma b. So it will pass me a data frame consisting of a and b columns. Now the difference over here is, if you are passing only one column name and then you are giving only one bracket, that is the format, then the type becomes series, right? I have already said. Okay, I'm going to start my kernel. So we have discussed, if it is a combination of rows and columns, then it will be a data frame. A tabular format is my data frame, and if I'm trying to fetch only one single column or one single row, then the type will become my series. Okay, it says a is not defined. Let me just execute this. Okay, I have restarted my kernel. Let me execute it again. Import pandas. Again my a. I think now we are good to go. So okay, this is my a again. Now if I say type of A and then A, it is my series because I am selecting only one column, right? If I give one more bracket over here, two bracket means I'm passing this inside a list, then it becomes my data frame, right? And whenever it is a data frame, it will store my data in a tabular format, like you can see in the case of A and B. If I'm not using a double a square bracket, then it will store as series, and series is nothing but a list. That's it. So I hope guys you are able to find the difference between these two, data frame and series. Data frame is nothing but a tabular format kind of data, and whenever you need data, then you have to give this two bracket from a data frame, and the series is nothing but a type of list, only a single row or single column from a data frame. Now coming to the main part, if I write a.describe, this is also a function which is present inside my pandas, data frame describe. It will give me a short description of my data frame and nothing else. Now if there is an object, now, a short description basically on statistical things of my data frame. What is statistical things? There will be a playlist on statistics also, which is used in data science. Statistics probability, we'll be discussing that also. For now I'm just going to give you a quick overview. So when I write a.describe, it is giving me all the columns abcd but not message. We have here five columns abcd, all containing integer data. Message is containing string or text data, object data. It is not giving me description about object. As I said, it will only give me about integer or floating kind of data's description because it is related to statistics. So what it is giving? My A. Let me execute. Okay, what is A? You are going to see that this is my A. You'll be able to find there are three records or three rows. So it is giving me count as three records. Mean is nothing but an average. So 1 plus 5 plus 9 divided by 3. It is giving me 5. So it is nothing but giving my mean of my particular columns. And STD is standard deviation. We'll be explaining this in statistics basically. MIN is nothing but minimum of A's minimum is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Similarly, maximum is 9, 10, 11, and 25%, 50%, 75%. So many of you have doubt what exactly does this mean. So 25% is nothing but 25th percent. Okay, let me explain it in this way. Suppose I have 100 columns data. Sorry, 100 row data. There are 100 rows. Now, what will be my 25th percent of 100 is nothing but my 25th row. So 25% is nothing but my 25th row in case there the total number of records are 100. Suppose the records are 20. So what will be my 25th row? It will be 5th row of my data frame, 5th row. Similarly, in this case also 50th percent is nothing but if it is 100 in total, there are 100 records, then what will be the 50% is nothing but a 50th record. It will give me that kind of data over here. Similarly for 75%. So we'll be discussing more about this in our later statistical playlist. So for now I'm just giving you a quick overview what exactly is this. So now moving on, what I'm trying to do is there is a GitHub from a site. This is the site basically. I am trying to read it in my pandas. So you will be able to find the separator is nothing but a tab. It's not comma. So I'm using this SEP, which is separator equal to tab, and I'm using this read underscore CSV. It will read my data and use separator as tab. I guess we are able to understand all these things by now. And I'm storing this into a. So A is nothing but my, now it is this data. What it is trying to give me? It is giving me passenger ID. Suppose it's a train. Yeah, their passenger IDs. How many of them survived? There has been an accident. What is their class? Passenger's class. Their name, sex, their age, and many more things. Ticket, their fare, their cabin, and many more things are there in this data. So there are 156 rows and 12 columns. Now I am trying to do a.describe in this particular data frame, a data frame, which is storing this data. When I do a.describe, we know for sure it will only give me description on my integer and floating data, right? Now what it is going to give me, count is 156 records. We know 156 rows are there, we have already seen this. It will give me a mean, it will give me standard deviation, the minimum is this, 25th percent is this. So we know now how to calculate 25th percent. There are 156 rows, accordingly we can calculate what is 50%, 75% and 25th percent record. We know maximum is this. Now what I'm trying to do, we know that we are not able to find a description on object data, the data where string or present, for example name, for example sex. These are all integer data, these are all string data, right? How to get only object or string kind of data? We have seen that in our earlier discussion. We know how to fetch our data if it is an object or integer, right? We can give a dot d types and then equal to object. It will only fetch me object. So this is an assignment for you guys. Try to do this thing, whatever I have explained, how to fetch only object kind of data type from your data frame by using this thing. I think you guys are able to do that. So for now, this is an assignment for you. If you are able to do, just comment in this particular video of your like your codes. I'll check it out. Now there is one more way we can do that by giving this bracket and then the column name of my object and then giving dot describe. So it will give me a description about this. So what it is giving in object kind of data type is nothing but count. Unique is nothing but how many unique values are there. For example, name, there is no unique, I mean sorry, all my 156 are unique, and sex only two. How? One is male and one is female. Going to before going to top, I'll just tell about frequency. Frequency is number of times it is appearing. So this is the frequency, and top is nothing but a top of frequency. In frequency, who is coming at the top? So all these things will take into account in our statistics playlist, but I'm just giving you a short description about this describe function. So basically this is used in our integer and floating kind of data to give us a statistical description of my data frame. Yeah guys, so moving on. Okay, this video is going lengthy, no issues. So just 2 to 3 minutes, bear with me. How to sort my okay. What I can do is we can just continue this in our next lesson because there are many more things to describe. So before completing, just one more thing I need to tell you. If I write A, we know. Oh my God, I have restarted my system. Let me just execute this very important thing that I need to discuss. So it is not defined, right? I'll just write it as pandas. Okay, pandas is not defined, right? I haven't imported. Just a second guys, import pandas. Okay, so this is my A, we know this is my A. Now what we know is how to get our a column. Suppose my column is name, I know how to get name. Okay, name is not defined. Okay, I need to pass this into a quotes. So this is our name, right? Name column, how we can get our name column. One more thing is, if we do not give a bracket, one more thing is using a dot operator, a dot name, and then we don't have to pass codes for sure. Just give a dot name, you'll be able to find the same result. Suppose I need sex, then a dot, I think it's in caps, a dot sex. So you'll be able to get your column details by using this dot operator as well. This is the important thing that I need to discuss. Not only bracket, we can use this dot operator to get our column details of a data frame. Okay, so in next class we'll be seeing about how to sort. We can give indexes in our data frame as well, like we used to do in our list, which I've already explained in a Python playlist, but I'll be explaining this over here as well. We know what is a dot columns. I think we have seen this. It will give me all the column names, so I'll just delete this. Okay, we'll be seeing about sorting, then we'll be seeing how to add a new column to our data frame, how to override an existing column, and many more things are going to come in our next tutorial as well. So this is it for today's video. Thank you so much guys for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe. Stay healthy, stay fit. Bye.